I needed to switch my tool up. I have got this all messed up. It is not correct. Just give me a second. I will fix that. Documents. Let's get this proper. Doop 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 doop. There we go. Sack of bricks. They're up one game versus the Baddest Dudes. Let's set the logos proper. Oh, I did that wrong.
Oh, sure.
There we go. Game number 2 is going to be on Sky Temple. Alrighty, let's get in game, shall we? Alrighty, on the blue side, we have Sack of Bricks with Andrade on Mal'Ganis, Megumilk on Zeratul, Stixa on Falstad, Chansey B9 on Asmodan, and Molarum on Brightwing. And on the red side, we have the Baddest Dudes with Savior 123 on the Jaina, Rondo Taker on the Johanna, Cactus Ham on the Sylvanas, Tootie Moss on the Rhaegar, and Hack Trick on the Leoric. So we got a little bit of early game top cheese, looks like. Looking either for a pick or a tower. The long rotation. But it looks like they're only going to get about half damage onto the tower. I think they could have put a little bit more pressure onto that if they wanted to. Mid-game, we've got solo lane Rhaegar. And in the bot, we've got Leoric versus Zeratul. See what kind of early game shenanigans we can get up to tonight. Rhaegar taking quite a bit of damage there in the mid lane. Gets out with his life, no problemo. And Sylv just starting the early camps. Now, I think without Mercenary Queen, this is a little scary. She's going to need Rhaegar to rotate up here to give her a heal. And that is exactly what he's going to do. So, I like the early priority on the Bruiser. Not bad. Oh, my mouse got away from me. In the bot lane, we have Hack Trick versus Megumilk still going up. And we've got some pressure created on the siege camp by Sack of Bricks. Now, bear with me a little bit. My throat is a little sore and raw from the casting I've done today. So we'll have to go along with that. We also might have a little bit of background noise because I got a noisy boogie. Make him some noise over there. Sorry, I keep letting go of my mouse, keep sliding, and the screen keeps rolling down. So I'm going to try to keep not doing that. Yeah, we got the Sylvanas trying to use that Mercenary Queen to get some pressure in the upper lane. I think that's what she took. Yep, of course. But it's going to get cleared up by Malarum and Malarum, and Stixa. We have a little bit of early game aggression by 3 over here. Zeratul, Azmodan, and Mal'Ganis looking to see if they can grab the siege camp, but properly defended by the Baddest dudes. We'll see if Sylvanas makes the rotation down here to amplify those guys, or if they're going to just stick with the temples. And it looks like we're just going to have some focus on the temples. Sack of Bricks taking care of the mid lane with Andrade on it. Bouncing around on his horse, looking all fancy. And we'll have Savior and Cactus Ham mostly dealing with the upper shrine. With Tootie Mouse there to clear waves and give some heals. Leoric, I think, has been back and forth in between the mid and top lane. Not really sure why or if he's going to actually poke in here, but Andrade is pretty low, so he looks for an opportunity. He does get the W onto Mal'Ganis, and Mal'Ganis could be in big trouble here. He's only got 300 health, but he does manage to get away, so it looks like Leo might actually be, Hacktrick might be able to steal the rest of the shrine without any more contention from Sack of Bricks. So, not bad for the side of the Baddest dudes. They do slide a little bit behind in experience, as while Leoric was forcing Mal'Ganis off, Zeratul was doing mostly a mid-top rotation and now is freezing the lane to see if he can pick up some extra experience. He probably got a couple minions for that play, not too bad. Meanwhile, we have the slow stack for Azmodan. He's at 41 now, using Wrath as well, so those auto attacks are going to improve the amount of stacks that he gets after he lands on an orb. We do have Festering Wounds on the side of Sylvanas, so she's going to be looking to stack that damage off of getting those triple stacks on top of heroes using her Howling Banshees, which is an aggressive move and it's good for burning down targets, but will also likely leave her in a position where she doesn't have an escape in the middle of fights. So Leoric has taken over the top lane, as you would expect, facing off with the Falstad. Should be a more or less even lane, but it looks like Falstad's getting the upper hand using that range and that poke to get Leo down. If he's not landing his W's, he's going to have a hard time sustaining that. So we have a ping going down. They're just checking the boss, and we're going to have Sack of Bricks start on the siege camp on the blue side with an invade coming in, 4-man invade coming in from the side of the Baddest dudes. Cactus Heaven is about half health, but they're got Brightwing a little bit isolated and put a bunch of damage onto it. But Mal'Ganis is looking for the sleep flank. They do manage to get some damage onto it. They do manage to steal the siege camp, and they do manage to nope out. No kills. Meanwhile, the mid wave kind of losing some experience here, something that they should probably try to get a hold of. But getting the camp seems to be making up for a bit of the lost mid soak, which is still remaining lost. But at the same time, Sack of Bricks is not soaking it either. So in the end, I think that more or less evens out, and we might even see a slight advantage in experience on the side of the Baddest dudes. So both teams trying to race to 10. Sack of Bricks just trying to get a little bit of advantage. He does get a 3-man stun with the Mal'Ganis engage, and a bit of damage onto Tootie Mouse, but both him and Magoo Milk are both pretty low, and it looks like Magoo Milk is actually going to go down, getting bit in the butt by the Rhaegar. You hate to see it. Andrade also less than half health. He's actually going to go down to the to the Jaina damage before he even gets off his what is that talent called? Carrion Swarm? Carrion Swarm. Oh. So it looks like Baddest dudes will actually keep control of this shrine, which is really awesome. With that top control, they were able to actually take down this fort. But it looks like because this hasn't been cleaned out, we're going to get almost the same thing happening on the other side. Though Leoric is on his way to clear that up. Now, they do probably see one split, so They might look to engage on this, but it looks like it's already gone, so there's really no point in that. So pretty decent early game coming out from the side of the Baddest dudes. Falstad seems determined to get this, and it doesn't look like Leoric's going to really sacrifice any health to try to stop it. I imagine he could have just cleared the wave out, which it still might even get this fort if they don't clear it out. He does go for the Entomb, misses it, and therefore Stixa decides to drop a bunch of B steps. BM, man. BM. And we get Sack of Bricks going for a nice dive over the fort to kill a Johanna, which in itself is quite difficult to do, let alone doing that over the fort. I guess if I had seen more of that, maybe she got poked down pretty low and then they went past the fort to kill her. I imagine was probably how that went down. But it looks like they're going to get a free bot fort. And now this game's macro is starting to turn around a little bit because this is a direct representation of the health in this game. As the objective hits forts and structures directly, the more you have up, the more buffer you have between it and the core, and therefore you can get a pretty good state of the game assessment based off of just how many structures remain up. We do have some mercenary bruisers pushing onto the opposite end of the map, but I understand that they're not going to want to engage into that. I think Andrade was a little bit out of position, but he drops his E and goes and just sleepwalks his way up. The narcoleptic. Cactus Ham going a little ham to get that poke damage onto Magoo Milk, and then ends up taking a fort shot, a tower shot, and dying. But they do get the counter kill onto Andrade, who sort of just went into the enemy team without his support. Brightwing was split from him at the time, and they sort of just CC chain him and blow him up. I think that was off of a Blessed Shield. That seems a little early for it, or was it Ring of Frost? Actually, it might have been the Ring of Frost drop that killed it. Yeah, I think it was. So it looks like we might see a bit of a trade. Now, I think the more this is traded out, the more in favor it tends to be on the side of the Baddest dudes. They do still maintain a slight experience lead. They do drop the bot fort. We do see Falstad here poking at walls and looking to see if he can snipe in on that. Again, Cactus Ham using his escape to go in aggressively and gets punished for it, but it doesn't look like he's going to die for it. Stixa, though, taking some tower shots, is lucky that there is a wave here to prevent his very untimely death in that manner. We do have Asmodan and Brightwing at the top lane, securing the rest of that shrine. But everything seems to be going gravy as of right now. So we're going to see a full 5-man rotation to see if they can catch these two out. They are very much separated. We do have Falstad flying in to see if they can help out a little bit. Gust is going to help secure the disengage. If we get another Blessed Shield pop out here, though, really quickly, they might have been able to re-engage. Cactus Ham using his escape to get right in there, using the double to jump around there to get a little bit more reposition to see if he can get some more damage in, but he takes most of his health, and we do see the Ancestral Healing going down to keep him alive. He does get some return damage back on Magoo Milk, but then he gets polymorphed on the re-engage, and it looks like we're just going to trade out a bunch of abilities and a bunch of heroics, but nothing else is really going to happen in this situation. The Baddest dudes was looking pretty low. There might have been a re-engage possible, but again, Magoo Milk was so low, he had to be back, so he couldn't re-engage with a Void Prison in that situation, which is the only engagement tool that was left to Sack of Bricks. So we have another Bruiser pickup here. Looks like we're going to get some mid-lane aggression and just attack some walls. I mean, even the minions don't attack the walls. Easy stacks for the Asmodan. Where are we sitting at with him? He is almost to his 200 base quest, which will help amplify the damage that Asmodan can do in these team fights. And we see the experience has now been slightly curbed in favor of Sack of Bricks. And once they get 16, these fights become a lot more scary because Zeratul comes online, and if he is going the Void/Cleave build, a lot of these squishy targets, Rhaegar, Sylvanas, and Jaina are going to have a rough time if he gets onto the back line and gets a couple Qs off and drops those health bars really low. Rhaegar can heal through the first, maybe the second, but not the third or fourth, so any really extended fights are going to be a real problem for them to handle. So we get an immediate fly up by the Falstad. He's just going to deal with this lane and this camp. And temples are activated. We're going to get 2 in the bot lane, both Magoo Milk and Malaram. Malaram. Jeez, I'm having a hard time with that name. And we're also going to get 2 in the mid lane, Mal'Ganis, Andrade, and Shansi B9. So since both are being channeled, and we have a split Falstad, who already used Fly, so he can't reinforce any of the spot, they're just going to go bot. But they got almost a half shrine down here, and they're probably going to get a full channel in the mid lane. So it looks like this game is really turning macro in favor of Sack of Bricks. In fact, they're taking structure damage on the keep right now. Now, this won't drop the keep itself, but this catapult and this push-in from Magoo Milk with the wave and Brightwing could very well get this kill. But we do get a quick rotation coming up from the Baddest dudes to prevent this. But if they don't clear this wave here is going to kill this fort. They're going to go for the kill instead. The Gust doesn't save them. The Ring of Frost does secure the kill. And if they don't kill this... We do get a good Void Prison, though. He's going to try to get some Q value. Andrade getting really low. He doesn't have Carrion Swarm up. I think it got interrupted in the last part of the fight. And the keep does go down because they were unable to clear it out. The Void Prison actually securing the keep kill. So, yeah, it might not have resulted in any kills, but it sure resulted in a keep destruction. And that is always a good thing. So we do have a slight structure advantage on the side of Sack of Bricks in this particular situation. And so we're just going to have to see how the rest of this plays out. So Vanis looking to go top, although I think Leoric is your best option to clear out waves, of course. So Vanis' wave clear is not bad. He's got to spend his abilities on it, but it can still go through it. But she is a large portion of their DPS capability here, and I really would prefer her to be at the start of this fight, especially since Leoric is already getting punished off the front part of that. He's going to actually go down, it looks like, with all of the extra aggression coming in from the side. Tunimoss out of position. He bites in, but he's also very low. And it looks like the damage is going to come down onto it, and you're going to get a stun onto the Jaina instead, and he's got no tools left to save her. Do we even have a cleanse? Cleanse did not come out. It was not used. And unfortunately, Jaina was just left to die. So it looks like we're going to have the Death March coming in here with 2 kills. They're just going to go straight for the core. VP up is up in 5 seconds, and Emerald Rind is up. So they feel like they've got a lot of ways, and Gust is up too as well. So they got a lot of ways to keep them from getting in on them. I'd like to see the Gust come out. Emerald Wind does it, and that's the game. GG's. 2-0 domination for the side of Sack of Bricks. So I know it wasn't perfect, and I've got a lot to improve on, but that's game 2 for you. We're going to get these out. I'm going to try to do a bit more replay casts here in the future, and we'll see where it goes from there. Thanks to anybody that do watch this. I'm going to try to get these uploaded to YouTube. I have no idea how the export feature is supposed to work, but we'll figure it out. If not, you can always come back on here. It should be archived under my channel, www.twitch.tv/psziltoid. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.